Mark in Georgia, you're on the air with Red Beckman.
God bless you, sir. Ever in our prayers. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, item one, I would like to see about, I understand you get annoyed about people who want you to do more, like you haven't given your hat and your coat and everything to this cause. I would like to see about getting a crew of volunteers to help you deal with all the massive emails you get. I'd like to see about getting people together to say, we'd like to help you sort through all this massive amount of incoming information and help you answer all the questions that people are asking. What I'd like to see, let me very briefly outline a video production I'd like to have called We the Jury, where we have, it's just like Pilgrim's Progress. You can tell the characters by their names. Pat Riot, go figure, he's Patriot. And he's dying of depleted uranium. And because you have a character that looks a lot like Lon Horiuchi, and go, who? The guy who murdered Sarah Weaver at Ruby Ridge. And Pat's writing to everyone, nobody's doing anything, and Pat takes actions that will suffice to say would not be called for in a lawful government that was doing what was right. But then if that were the case, and then Lon would never have dared murder Sarah Weaver. And basically,
hold on just a minute, Mark. I'm going to put you on hold for a minute. Here's the deal. It isn't that I don't like people giving me ideas, and it isn't that I don't like people telling me I need to do this or do that. It's that, take people like Ron Paul's asked me to come speak at big events, and I just haven't had the time because I can electronically reach 10 times as many people in the time it would take to drive to Houston. And then when I do show up at events, they have provocateurs that try to stir stuff up and create a distraction. I mean, it's literally by the book. So maybe I should be out at more events because the system doesn't like it. Also, there have been, say, Jordan Maxwell keeps begging me to come make a film with his material. I'd love to. I can't even get my own films done. Again, we're lean and mean, and I'm not saying you're bad, Mark, but if I let 20 people in my office, guarantee you 5 of them will be feds, and they'd be trying to put me in prison within hours. And again, I don't talk a lot about this, but we're under attack. And, just like Red said, it's good to have thousands of little groups out there educating others because that's invincible. Big organizations with one big giant head are too easy to shoot down. I'd rather have 1,000 torpedo boats going up against an enemy fleet than one aircraft carrier. Red Beckman, do you agree with what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Any comments on your experiences dealing with provocateurs and stuff?
Well, I've been able to identify a number of them over the years. And they're not too hard to spot after a bit. They'll try to ingratiate themselves with you and one thing and another, and they even may spend some money for books and things like that. But they will invariably end up trying to tell you and get you motivated to do something that would be a violation of law. And so if you have somebody come in and try to be nicey nice, and the first thing you know, they're telling you that you ought to do this or do that.
Or they use the credibility of being within your operation to go tell people you're talking bad about them when you're not, just to start infighting.
Yeah, well, they're there, and of course, having all of these thousands of different organizations, in Montana, I still have a footprint there, and I told the people there, I said, every organization pick a different name, and one of them, they call themselves Montana, oh my goodness, a senior moment. From Ann Ryan's book, Atlas Shrugged. They call themselves Montana Shrugged. And they have hundreds of people in their organization. They're all put together or connected electronically. And what a name. Montana Shrugged.
And then they're connected to other groups, and it's a headless system to where the enemy can't defeat it. But Mark, write up your ideas, send it to us at Infowars.com. It would be great to be able to go through all the tips all the stuff we miss, all the things we do. It's just that I also want to encourage listeners to not wish you could work for me or wish you could work with us or wish you could. You're out there as leaders. Start your own organization. If you believe in our information, post it, share it. I mean, again, we're about getting you to take action, not for us to then go do more. Because I really physically can't do much more except work smarter and launch new electronic operations against the enemy to spread our information more. And it's you, the listeners, that make that so effective. Let's go to Karen in Oregon. Karen, you're on the air.
Thank you very much for all you do for the Patriot movement. The other day, I was listening to you, and Mike Rivero mentioned the national strike. Well, I am helping to put that together, and our goals are no global government, restore our Constitution, individual sovereignty, state sovereignty, limited federal government, no more voting machines or taxation without representation. What we are trying to do here is unite all of the fractionated groups all across this great country and have them get on the freedom train and totally, economically withdraw and support this national strike April 15th through April 18th. Can you endorse this?
Well, I have endorsed. I've said people on the 15th should not just have a strike against the New World Order. They should call the local media and tell them a strike's being organized in Austin or Dallas or New York or Portland or wherever it is, and have everybody call into talk radio, send letters to the editor, have protest on that day as well. And we don't need to have one big centralized, organized hub. But, yes, I do support a national demonstration and strike on the 15th through the 18th. I think people have just been saying the 15th, but whatever. Red Beckman, I appreciate your call, Karen. Red Beckman.
Yes, I think that that is going to be a landmark in, American history. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be big, big, big. And I was just looking through the book, Why the Militia, and I had some comments in here about the press. And we're talking about, we were talking about the Supreme Court decision letting corporations spend money for campaigns. Well, they're going to be wasting their money because people are not very dependent anymore on major media. And I had a comment, two or three of them here when I had a chapter on the media. I said, if you believe without question what you see and hear coming from major media, you are an exhibit proving that propaganda and lies can inflict serious brain damage. And then another one, major media personalities lie for a living. Seven-figure incomes can cause a person to misplace his conscience. And then one, most of the millions spent during political campaigns end up in the pockets of the media. The media get the money and the people get a choice between two evils. Those days are over for the big money to come in and buy an election, because the newspapers, the media, the television media and such, they're panicking because the newspapers, how many newspapers have gone bankrupt? And you're going to hear about major media, TV and such, that they're going to be going bankrupt too. And people don't, they're just not relying on those media for their information. And so let them corporations, those foreign corporations, come in and spend their money with the media, and we'll just thumb our nose at the media.
Well, that's right, and I appreciate your call, ma'am. The globalists are dead on arrival. They're going to get their world government, but it's going to die the day it's finally established, because humanity doesn't want to be slaves. And they want to use poverty and degradation to control us, but it's just not going to work forever. And the mainstream media isn't just dying because of the Internet. They are clearly dying in all the polls and studies because people know they're a pack of spinning, twisting, deceiving liars.